So how mature is your customer success organization? How about if I give you 11 pointers to check your own customer success maturity? So here are the 11 pointers to check your own customer success org maturity. We'll start from the basics, but it goes up on value and expectation as you move forward. So stay tuned, okay? Number one, do you have a separate customer success team from your support team? Yes. Believe it or not, even in 2019, we've seen the overlaps. Yes. And I'm very sure many of you are through that. Number two, do you have a separate onboarding team from your customer success team? Yes, onboarding, believe it or not, is a very, very specialized piece. It has enough moving parts. It has enough nuances of its own. It deserves a specific onboarding team, which should be different from a success team with completely different KPIs. And that takes me to my third point. How are your customer success org divided? How do you segment? Is each customer success manager having his or her own portfolio of accounts? That is your number 3 in terms of maturity. Number 4, how do you segment your customers? Or do you even segment your customers? That is your number 4 maturity. Number 5, do you have KPIs for customer success? Do you have support SLAs, onboarding, logo renewals, MRR growth? And frankly, depending on what you're trying to achieve, those KPIs themselves define or talk about the maturity of your own org. But you need to have KPIs for sure just to be at that maturity level. Number 6, do you have basic processes in place? Things like onboarding. Do you have an onboarding playbook in place? Do you even have a risk prevention process in place? Number 7, how prescriptive is your customer success? If a risk of type A occurs, is your practice of dealing with that risk already in place? Or will the success manager be figuring it out, okay, what do I need to do? And it'll come down to his or her unique decision to deal with it. Yes, at certain stage, we expect them to take decision, but whether they want to act on it or not, it should be a prescriptive customer success. And more repeatable and scalable you want to make your customer success practice, it has to be a prescriptive customer success practice. Remember, you should be able to bring in a new success manager and your experience to your end customers should not change. That is the maturity of a prescriptive customer success org. How much of this is automated? There are pieces you can automate and there are pieces you should not automate. But the pieces that you should automate, do you have automation in place? I hope your success managers are not asked to do some mundane activities of doing things which can simply be automated. Number 9, do you have predictable renewals? In spite of all this maturity, if your churn comes and still surprises you, what's the point? And that is going to be one of the ultimate tests of your customer success maturity. My next one takes it to the next level. Number 10, do you have predictable upsells and growth targets? Can you actually go ahead and set up that, yes, this year I'm going to grow every portfolio from 110% MRR growth to 120% MRR growth, or even retain 120 or 110% MRR growth, or maybe closer to a magical figure of 130% MRR growth, which is the ultimate nirvana in the SaaS world, even at scale. So how predictable is all of that? And last but not the least, one of the ultimate drivers which actually feeds back into all of the above maturities is your CEO getting their own MIS, their own CS dashboard on a weekly, monthly, or periodic basis. Do they have one? And that's mandatory. And how frequently you get together with your CEO, making sure that you're making progress on that. So there you go, guys. 10 levels at which you can measure, 10 questions which you can answer to check your own customer success maturity. Tell us if we have missed any. Tell me how mature you think your org is. At what level do you are? And they're not frankly all levels, but those are angles in which you can come, but I've sort of kept them in an increasing level of maturity. So it's not a hard rule of traversing the same path, but yes, 11 indicators, tell me how many of those you sort of meet, you have a yes, and how many of those you have a nay. I know if the no's are high, you're unlikely to comment, but go ahead and share whatever you can. Looking forward to your comments. Cheers. Bye.